Okay, guys, it's like 5:45 in the morning here, and I think I might have been vexed. I think I might have had a spiritual attack. Um, I woke up and there's blood on my arm there, right? Okay, see the blood there? Okay, on this part of the wrist here, all right? And it looks like it came from here. Now, for the life of me, I cannot figure out where this came from. Like how would I get a mark like that? I mean, I didn't make it. You know what I mean? Obviously, it looks like my arm, this part of my arm, okay, was up against there, kind of thing, right? But I didn't personally inflict this. And you guys know I've been growing closer and closer to God and closer to Jesus. There, you can see it better right there. Right? I did not inflict this on myself. I'm just asking you, was I vexed? Did I actually have a demonic attack happen to me? I mean, there's no reason why I would have a cut there, like that. Because if there was a lesion there, then there would be one here too, or here. You know what I mean? Like it would go right across the forehead if it was my skin cracking or something. Using common sense, right? That's not self-inflicted. And there's the blood. I can't see without my glasses on, but I presume you guys can see that there. There's the blood on my arm still, and I just woke up to this just now. Had to go use the washroom. I'll admit, I was having some erotic dreams, and people talk about succubus and things like that attacking people, right? I don't know if succubus are real or not, but I had this erotic dream, and then I wake up with this lesion on my forehead, and the blood dried still on my arm, and it looks like my arm was like this at some point in time. Now I sleep on the couch behind me here, as you can see in the background there. You know, there's a pillow there, right? And there's nothing around for me to scratch my forehead on. And there's no sign of blood on the pillow. There's no sign of blood on, against the back of the couch or anything like that. I find that odd, like there it is right there. I find that extremely odd. I cannot figure out for the life of me what caused it. It doesn't hurt, or anything like that. And it's like, well, what happened? You know? So I thought I'd just make this recording. That's why I'm not wearing my glasses so that you guys can see the mark, kind of thing, right? And I'm just curious, for any of you guys that are spiritual, was I attacked by a demon? I had erotic dreams, and I woke up to this mark on my forehead and the blood on my near my wrist there, because there's my wrist right there. So it's near my wrist. So my arm must have been like this. Well, there's nothing there. There's no watch or anything on my arm that would cause me to scratch my forehead. There's nothing there that would scrape my forehead. Now, when I go to bed, I take my rosary off, but put it underneath the pillow for protection. Well, that's kind of deep. And it's a pretty big mark. And I'm just wondering if I was vexed. Because you guys know I've been drawing close to God, and you guys know there's certain games I won't play anymore, and there's certain movies and TV shows and music I won't listen to, you know. So I'm not making something up out of nothing. I didn't do this to myself. I didn't take a fingernail and go or something. You know what I mean? This literally is what I woke up to. And here it is. What is it now? What's the time? 5:50 in the morning, right? I saw this around 5:40 when I had to go to use the washroom. I had to go use the washroom, and then I noticed the blood on my arm. I'm like, where did that come from? So then I started to look around, and then I saw the mark on my forehead. And I'm like, where did that come from? You know? And I had an erotic dream, you know? So I don't know what to label this video, but I don't know. You tell me. What do you think's going on? Because it's not from dried, cracked skin. Because if it was, all of this would be broken and cracked. Because look, the creases here are way, way more intense than up around this area. And it would be over here too. Like all of this would be cracked and bleeding. It's not dry skin. I can touch around here. It's not dry. I'll even touch this, and I don't feel dry skin. You know what I mean? I'm just dabbing it just to be on the safe side. Um, it doesn't feel like dry skin at all. So it's definitely not, it looks like as if it was a nail that went across there. And you might say, well, you went like this. Well, I would have felt it. And then I would have blood on my nails, and I don't have blood on my nails. Like any of my fingernails, none of them have blood, right? If I had done this myself, there would be blood there, right? There's none, okay? And there's that much blood on my arm, then if it was self-inflicted, I would definitely have it on my fingernails, if it was self-inflicted. That's the truth, right? If it was self-inflicted and I got this much blood on my forearm, then, it would be on my nails. And here's my nails. No blood, okay? And then there's my thumbs. No blood. So that's not self-inflicted, and I didn't have the rosary on. Well, let's hypothetically say I did, then there would be blood on it. There's no blood. There's no blood. No blood, right? So what happened? Like I said, I'm thinking about this from a logical perspective, right? I'm thinking of this like, in terms of, okay, did I scratch myself in the middle of the night? Did I snag it on anything? I looked all around, everywhere I sleep. I don't see any blood but on my forearm. That's it. Up nearby the wrist there. And there's nothing there for it to snag onto where the blood is. There's no way for it to snag. So what caused it? Was I actually under a spiritual attack? Was I actually vexed? Because I'm drawing closer to God? I mean, if this was because of dry pores, look at how intense these creases are here. You would think that these ones here would be bleeding if that was the case, right? If it's a dry forehead, right? And I'm thinking about this logically. And it doesn't even feel like that anywhere on my forehead, right? And if that was the case, if this is dry enough to crack and bleed, then this would dry up all the way across here and crack and bleed. You know what I'm saying? And when I touch it, none of it, like all of it, feels the same, right? So just because I got creases in the forehead doesn't mean anything. Let me try and just do it straight. There it is, straight. Nothing I can think of that would cause that. We just went through the things that might have, right? Which would be like, did I snag it on something? Did one of my fingernails cut it? Because that's really pronounced, right? That's definitely not what cracked skin looks like either. Like look at it. It actually looks like something scratched me. literally. You guys know how I've been talking about God and Jesus a lot lately. And like I said, I had an erotic dream, you know? Like, was I marked by something? You know? And the only one that owns me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So I just thought I'd make this video. Oh, wow, it's already 10.5 minutes. Sorry, I didn't mean it to be that long. I only meant to be a couple minutes here. So I better wrap it up. You tell me what that is. And no signs around my furniture or anything of it snagging on anything, including my fingernails. All right? No blood. It's what caused it. It's not dry skin. Feels fine to me. And that's the only spot right there. Right there. It's the only spot. So if it was a dry forehead and it was cracking and bleeding, it would go more than that. It would go all the way across, right? Because my whole forehead is, well, whatever it is, right? But it doesn't feel dry to me, you know? So I just thought I'd make a video about this in case there's something going on. Feel free to share the video to anyone that might know what's going on. And thank you for watching.